Hi guys. Hey, thanks for stopping in and checking out my series on 3 steps to improve your meditation. In this series, I'm going to share with you the 3 most effective tool sets that I've learned and used in my meditation practice. And you're going to find that these tools are very simple and easy to remember and easy to use. And the tools can be used anywhere. You can use them at your desk at work. You can use them in a restaurant. You can use them on an airplane. And the more you practice and the more you use these tools, the better your meditation will become. Before we jump into the tool sets, I wanted to share with you a little bit about how these tools relate to meditation, because there's a lot of different practices in meditation. People will use meditation for so many different purposes. Some of them use it to open up their chakras, or to raise the kundalini, or to practice mindfulness, or to relax. There's just many different ways to meditate, and each one of these different ways addresses meditation in a slightly different fashion. So let me tell you how my tool sets fit into meditation. The tool sets that I'm going to be sharing with you focus on that Daoist concept of being present. And we experience time as a linear concept of past, present, and future. And even though we live every moment of our life only in the present, our mind spends most of its time either in the past or in the future. Our mind spends very little time with our body here in the present. So, in order to calm our mind and our emotions, we must bring the mind and the body together in the present. Our minds are really noisy and completely out of control. Yet, we control a lot of our body, right? We control our ability to move, to go up and down stairs, to drive a car, to read a book, to watch TV. We tell our body to do all these things, and yet we tell our mind nothing. We just let our mind do whatever it feels like. And that's completely unpleasant if you're trying to get to sleep at night and you can't turn your mind off and you can't stop thinking. So part of learning how to become present is a skill set to help you learn how to turn off your mind, and get your mind under the control of you. So in Taoism, this spending all our time in the future or all our time in the past, this creates what they call this monkey mind, this mind that's in a constant state of agitation and unrest. And the easiest way to see that is when you want to go to sleep and you can't turn off your mind, or you can see it in constantly being worried, or that internal chatter that is constantly going on in your head that says things like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do that, or everybody around here sees whatever it is, sees this part of me. It's whatever that internal chatter that you have going on that takes away from you being your true self. And this state of being in this constant state of agitation and unrest creates this tremendous amount of stress. And there's a really good book out it's fairly old right now, but it's from it's by Hans Sell, who was a doctor up in Canada, and he did a lot of research on stress. And his famous book is The Stress of Life, and he talks about how we respond to stress, what stress is, and the impact that it has on our body. And when he came up with his theories or his hypotheses on stress, it was really revolutionary, and it's still pretty revolutionary today. But that is what Taoism would see as the monkey mind, which is that mind that is constantly unrest. You can't turn it off. It's always agitated. It's always thinking about something. You can't stay focused. You may be in a constant state of nervousness, worry. In general, just a super unpleasant place to be. Okay, so let me just take a minute here to talk about if you find that practicing any of these tool sets that you really just can't pull your mind together and you just can't quiet your mind, then you might need to take a step back. And I've been there. I spent 3 years as a caregiver for my aging parent and also supporting my sister. And that was probably the most stressful time I've ever experienced in my whole life. And by the end of it, I really was having a hard time keeping thoughts in my head. And I was so wound up and so unnerved that I couldn't, for the life of me, calm down. So thinking about meditating, that just wasn't working for me at all. I just was too far gone. And if you find that your life's that stressful, you might want to check out my book, Caregiver's Survival Guide: How to Eliminate Stress in 30 Minutes with Chinese Medicine and Other Useful Tools, because this book talks about 5-element theory and how you can use Chinese medicine, how you can use nature to help you unwind and help you relax. And that's really what I had to do at that time. And here's the thing, nature is so much more overwhelming, so much more powerful than we are, that sitting in the appropriate nature, it will overcome whatever stress, anxiety, worry, frustration, anger, resentment, whatever it is that's going on in you, it will help reduce and eliminate that. And the only thing you have to do is make sure that you pick the right nature for your emotions. And in Chinese medicine, every emotion is attached to one of the elements. And so if you pick up my book, it will take you through a simple exercise so you can identify which element it is that you need to, or that could best benefit you. And you might, in how you know this works is, you might be experiencing something and you're like, oh, I just need to get out on the water. And you get out on the water and you're out there for an hour, you're out there for 2 hours, and you still feel just as intense as when you started. So you got no relief being out in nature. And it's not that nature doesn't help. It was that you chose the wrong nature for the emotions that you were experiencing. And if you go through my book and you reselect a nature that's associated with what you're feeling, you might find that within 30 minutes you're a totally different person. And so if you find when you're trying to meditate that you can't for the life of you quiet your mind, then take a step back, go one step back, make it a little bit simpler. Don't make it about you trying to control your mind. Instead, make it about nature helping you control your mind. Make it about nature being the mentor, and all you have to do is sit and listen. So we're going to say that we're not that stressed out, and that we can sit and that we can meditate. And you're going to know if you're not at the point where you can sit and meditate, because you're going to sit down and you're going to try and meditate, and your mind's going to take off like a storm and you're not going to be able to stay quiet. And so then you might want to look at nature. Either way, let's say we're here now and that we can stay focused. So over the next 3 videos, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things that I've used to help bring my mind back to the present and help me unwind.